Hello, fellow Star Wars fans, long time no see. It's been a while since I've posted on the channel, school's starting up again and whatnot, but I wanted to get out a review for the latest Star Wars book, Star Wars The Light of the Jedi, from the High Republic era. This is the beginning of this new time period in Star Wars, this new era that is being explored through publishing for the next 6 years, I believe, in 3 phases. So this is a big new project for Lucasfilm and Lucasfilm Publishing in the form of comics and novels and whatnot. So this is the first thing I've read from the era, and I really, really like it. I think it's great. I think it's a perfect introduction to a new era in Star Wars. I think it's a really interesting era to explore because we get to see the Jedi sort of at their prime, which is what we thought we were seeing in the prequels. But when you think about it, in that era, in the Clone Wars era, the Jedi are being spread thin across the galaxy. They're under the influence of Palpatine, and there's a lot more going on there. Whereas here, we've got truly the Jedi unhindered by a large-scale war, or some force at the top that is sort of poisoning their operations. And so it's really interesting to explore what these Jedi can do, and what the Force looks like at this time when there are a lot of Jedi and when there is peace in the galaxy. And there's some really interesting stuff there that doesn't contradict what already exists, but adds to it in a really interesting way. So with no war going on, I of course was wondering what the conflict in this story would look like. And that's where the Nihil come in. They are a new evil force in the galaxy. They're raiders, marauders, agents of chaos, sort of every man for themselves in a way, but they operate in this... Well, I don't want to get into the structure of the Nihil, because I think that's one of the more interesting things to come from this, because we know about the Jedi. I mean, we're exploring a new time period for them, but we're introduced to this new organization called the Nihil, and really seeing how they operate and what they do. And there's some really interesting stuff there. In terms of critiques for this book, I think that I would have liked to have spent more time with the characters, but there is a second book coming, a direct sequel to this one, that I think will allow us to get more in depth with some of these characters, because in this book we're really just setting up this era and establishing a bunch of characters and sort of where we are. And so I guess a note for the next one, what I'm hoping for to get more of, is some more time with individual characters, because it does feel like we're jumping around a lot, because of course there's a lot to establish. So hopefully we can get some more of that in the sequel, and I'm sure we will. And the other thing, and it's a minor nitpick in terms of writing, I just feel like the author gets a little bit too repetitive and descriptory in describing the Force. Some of it's cool, but at a certain point, you can tell he's sort of indulging himself and in describing certain things a little too poetically. It's a really minor thing, but every once in a while I'd roll my eyes at the way he was describing something. But, like, overall, I liked the way that they portrayed the Force here. I liked seeing what these Jedi could do and all that stuff. So if you're a Star Wars fan, I highly recommend this book. I haven't read a lot of Star Wars books. I've started reading a few, but I actually think this is the first one that I finished, and I finished it pretty fast. The story is interesting, the time period is interesting, and I really liked that we got to jump back. I think what didn't grab me about the other books is they were just filling in gaps in movies, but this is really just diving into something new, and I really appreciated that, and I think that's going to be interesting to explore. I'd love to see an animated show set in this time period. I know there are rumors of that. Well, it doesn't have to be animated. I know that the Acolyte, the live-action series that's coming to Disney Plus, is set during this time period. Just more exploration of this, and I know that's coming in the forms of... I haven't read the comics yet, but in the forms of comics and other books. But I really think that this is a strong story with some strong characters who I would love to spend some more time with in the next book. But overall, yeah, absolutely check it out if you're a fan of Star Wars and you want to be introduced to this new time period. Thanks for checking out this video, and hopefully there are a lot more coming. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.